Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of my nearly friends, and welcome to this another brand new day. A day in which my housemates are up and about and they're coughing and hacking and being all biological. So if you hear them being biological, that's because they too are human beings. Thumbs up for that. It's good to be a human being. Mostly. Thumbs up for that, though. So it's another new day, and that's a good thing. For the weather report in Shelton, Washington, it was rainy yesterday when I went out walking, so I had to have my umbrella. Yay. You know, most of the day it was wet and gray and water falling from the sky. This morning, it looks like it's kind of clear. The light through the trees looks clear-ish, so thumbs up for that. And of course, today is a therapy day, so 9 o'clock, I'm going to be engaged in online therapy with my therapist again, a very good thing. So, you know, I'm kind of in a rush beforehand, and afterward, well, after dredging things up and such, it's a day. So I'm going to have a video done for the second half of the day as normal, but that's okay. It was recorded yesterday. I just have to edit and render and then upload. So thumbs up. Now, as for the actual day and everything that happened yesterday, not a whole lot happened yesterday. It was just about as nothing happening as the day prior when I felt horrible. I mean, on that day it was horrible. I kept falling asleep. I felt nasty when I went to bed. When I went to bed, my pulse was racing, probably around 120, because of some junk that I'd eaten and drank, and my body had a nasty reaction to it, and it was terrible. Oh my God. Now, yesterday, toward the end of the day, because even though I slept okay the night before, I didn't sleep a lot. So, yesterday I had some falling asleep issues, and I didn't do a lot, and while the end result was the same, it was a much different reason why. I wasn't falling asleep toward the end of the day because I felt terrible. I just fell asleep because I hadn't slept a lot the previous day. And I didn't get a lot of stuff done because I felt terrible. It was just because I don't have enough of my ADHD meds right now. So, same result, intensely different reason. So when I went to bed and what I did and all that, I felt pretty good yesterday. Physically, mentally, it was altogether a pretty good thing. Still didn't get much done, so yay on that. I try to think as creatively as possible, but I had also mentioned how even though I'm 8,000 steps ahead of where I was a couple of years back, I still lost a little ground, as a lot of people have. So I'm not as free-ranging in my creative thought when I go out walkies, but I do my best, and that's good. We can all just do our very, very best, and that's a thumbs up on that. Past that, though, still just trying to survive, still just trying to do what I can, still just trying to make phone calls, but with the executive dysfunction from my ADHD right now, where I'm not fully medicated yet, I cannot fully break through a lot of that. I still need to make phone calls. I'm lucky if I can make like 1 or 2 phone calls a week. So, as I get further medicated, that will be good. And I'd mentioned before how I talked with my my med manager, so we're going to be increasing the amount of Ritalin, so we'll see how that goes. It'll be definitely a thumbs up on that, definitely a good thing. Now, I am still always thinking about creative thought stuff as best I can. I still think about, like on the bone-hurting juice world, where once again I need to give it an actual name, but with the characters of Scarbat and Milliander and Ilchenka, because Scarbat, of course, is one of the Elvandri. He is one of the nomadic dwarven characters. Milliander is one of the fungal elves, but there are a type of fungal elf. They have as much genetic diversity basically as human beings. They're just being slowly turned from meat into fungus as their meat fails. You know, so they have that form of immortality that way. But they still have incredible genetic diversity. And there are a whole bunch, because you need new information. You need new stuff. There are a bunch of types of the Dwarlen who are born, and they do not have a strong connection to the fungal network. For everyone else that's in the fungal network, it's basically you think of someone and it's like you're right there with them. If you hug them mentally, they feel it. If you talk to them, they hear it. It's like you're there in the room with them. These individuals don't have that. It's like hearing people talking in another room. They know they're part of the group that's in the other room talking, and they can hear them talking, but they can't really hear what's being said, and they can't contribute to the conversation. They can hear that they're talking over there. And that's about as close a connection as they have to the fungal network. So they head out into the world. And they do things. Sometimes they die. That happens. But after 50, 60 years of being away from the network and just adventuring and learning things, they get that urge to head back to their home. And then the fungal network gets the benefit of all this new information, new experiences, new stuff coming back home. So Milliandor of the Dwarlen is one of those elven types. Doesn't have that strong connection and is so out adventuring for a while until he goes back home. Then of course there's Ilchenka. Ilchenka is one of the people of the Calendris, where all those original people are dead. The magical zombie plague that destroyed everyone killed them all. Because when you got bit by one of these zombie types, it was like hitting the quick reformat section on your brain. Everything that was personality-wise, everything that made you was instantly deleted. And then your body killed, and then 15 seconds later, it got back up and looked for someone else to bite. And it just spread and killed all like 4 million people of the Calendris. And then after 100 and so years, after everybody's flesh had rotted off and they were just animate skeletons, they started to wake up. The zombie plague inside of them started developing sentience. And so like 1% of them wakes up every year. And they're trying to build a new society based on truly genderless beings. How you feel each day is how you would present. Some days you feel feminine, present as feminine. Some days you feel masculine, present as masculine. Some days you feel nothing, present as that. You have no gender. You have no sexuality. These Amelia, no. You are so annoying that way. Here, I'm going to make noise and hopefully you'll get away from the door. They have none of that, and so they're just trying to build a new society. And so Ilchenka is one of those individuals. So there's the three of them, Scarbat, Milliandor, and Ilchenka. Now, one of the things I do want to do is because there's about 7 major universes that all bloop together as like a soap bubble thing, because there were so many of them, those major 7, that the universes were going to die because of damage. But they were all part of that subset that there were a lot of good things happening that overset the bad stuff. And to fix it, they blooped together. And then there were about 20, 30 other smaller realities that also blooped in. And the universe is under no great obligation to make things fit in that make sense. And so people ended up, at the time when this happened, you went from, hey, there's, the Dwarlen live on this world, to instantly, the Dwarlen are just one of 7 major races, and you've got both realities in your head. You came from a world of only the Dwarlen, and the Dwarlen are just one of 7 races and many other minor races that live on the planet. So it's a bit of craziness for the poor individuals that live there. But that's okay. So, yes, the point being, of this world, I am still working on it. I do have stories to tell about the main characters, and I do want to introduce a human species, because there are humans that live on this world too. Their universe got blooped in as part of it, so it saved all the soap bubble universes. All of our universes are soap bubbles, and it's just everything's a mess now. Now the humans, they're a very smaller, minor group. The problem about that, of course, is when you're trying to expand and you're doing things, if you're allowed any sort of colony, well, that's going to be troubles later, isn't it? So there's going to be issues because, well, the Dwarlen are nomadic, and they have an area they go around in. The Dwarlen, on the southern continent that this all takes place on, there are 5 proto-minds, 5 large kingdoms of the Dwarlen. There's all these other things. There's the people of the Calendris. There's not a whole lot of room to expand into, and yet the humans now have a couple towns and trade ports. So yeah, there's going to be trouble later. But I want to introduce a character. Now, I've tried to have accents for each of the types of species, just so I can get a rough handle on them. There's Scarbat and Scarbat of the Elvandri. They've got that kind of accent, or at least Scarbat does. And then, of course, there's Meliander with his group that he comes from. They've all got this sort of accent from where they came from. And of course, Ilchenka, she's from the Calendris. They do their best to speak other people's languages, but, it's when you're trained and you learn, you have an accent as well. Now, the human type, I think his name and the species, well, not the species, but the background and culture of the such, I'm thinking that this individual more have a name like Dar Gupta, and it's possible that his accent would be more like this, and that more of the human people that you see and hear of on this continent would have more of an accent like this. It all means nothing. It's just a way to distinguish between the various races if I'm speaking out loud. And remember, they're different, species, not, Races on our planet are a human construct. There are no races. There's just human beings. Now, we all come from different ethnic descents because our ancestors adapted to certain portions of the world. That we have, but you're not a different race. There's different ethnic adaptations. It's all just human. It's all just DNA. Putting things in terms of race and all that is a human construct. But we do that. But in the terms of this, races are actual species, different species and races. The Dwarlen, the Scarbats, the Dwarlen, the Elvandri, the humans, and then of course there's others. So there's a lot. And of course, I still want to talk about the 3 zones of the universe, because even though I talk about and say that there's the Ungara, the Ungare, and the Ungaden. We live in the Ungaden, the cold and dark. And then there's the Ungare that is more real, and the Ungara that is the realist. And the people that live there are, relative to us, very inhuman, unknowable, alien, strange. We would not understand them at all if we could see them in their natural life. But relative to themselves, you could write any story today about normal people in this world, and relative to them, it would be a story about any of these people in the Ungare, in the strange, unknowable universe zone. Because they are still essentially people. And even though we can't understand them, relative to each other, they're still just wandering, talking, having jobs, hobbies, work. So, yeah, thumbs up for that. And so, for having nothing to say, I've managed to ramble on for quite a bit. So I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. So thumbs up on that. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I count in American Sign Language with my ADHD, mourning, so much, I am sometimes lucky I can remember anything at all. So calling up my Chrome, we have a name that looks like it is in kanji or katakana, probably katakana, or I don't know. I am attributing these Asian letters, ideograms, to probably the wrong people of ethnic descent, and I am very sorry. But thank you very, very much. And Tara Young, thumbs up and thank you. Fanatic Trilogy, I like the name and thumbs up. Adrian Bryan, good to see you in the comments, and it's not easy, I'm very sorry. Swiftly MP, thumbs up and thank you. We have Wilbur Cobb, greatly appreciated. MUISEO, not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you very, very much and good to see you. We have Maverick Jenkins, I like the name, thumbs up. There is Sophie, greatly appreciated. Love Sick with an E at the end, thumbs up, I like the name. Hunter, greatly appreciated. We have Deceptive Reality, thumbs up and thank you. Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. IDFWYH03S, thumbs up and thank you. Crystal Phillips, well, greetings from Washington as well. The Thing 2011, thumbs up. Daniel Rivas, thumbs up and thank you. Jake Hose 1, thumbs up. Melissa R, good to see you in the comments. We have Maria Grimes, greatly appreciated. Christopher Thomas, thumbs up and thank you. We have Din Corda, thumbs up. Joe Mama, greatly appreciated. Momoka_B, good to see you in the comments. Even though you don't talk much, it is still good to see you when you do. And Ryan H, greatly appreciated and good to see you. Thumbs up, each and every one of you. Oh, my cheek is itchy. Oh, now this cheek is itchy. And now my forehead part of this here is itchy. Goodness gracious. Anyway, though, thank you so very, very much for having left me any comments at all. It's greatly appreciated. You took the time, you expended the calories. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. If you could check out my various things down below, like Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out financially without sending money to the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well, where hopefully I've updated it so it again has Reptisan and hamster food and hamster bedding and cat food. That would be cool if you could check it out. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool indeed. A definite thumbs up. And of course, even though the Duckhead of Scorn wears the grand and powerful lobster hat, it still does not wish us harm or bad things. It merely pours scorn upon those it feels are necessary to receive its scorn. Those that are not worthy of scorn do not receive that scorn. The horse head of encouragement is still out there somewhere. We will locate that horse head again. It will come back to bless us with its encouragement. But until that time, weather the storm, my friends. Weather the storm. And of course, Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate. Good golly, Miss Molly. And during these hard times, try to stay as creative and safe as you possibly can. So, if you don't have to go out, please don't go out. If you do, wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, maintain your social distancing, and of course, just be safe, be smart. We can get through this. We're almost through it. Just keep running until we're over the finish line, please. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that, my friend, is a very good thing. You're a donkey. Well,